Good evening. I would like to share with you my lead journey and some important lessons that I gleaned along the way. Lessons in prioritizing, perseverance, true friends, and becoming a man of service. I came to Lee University as the recipient of both an academic and athletic scholarship to play basketball. I never wanted to be characterized as being just an athlete, but rather a student athlete, making my education a priority. One of my biggest challenges was learning how to balance these two areas. I remember on multiple occasions trying to find the time to focus and study effectively while blocking out the noise and bumpy bus rides after an intense game, as well as returning from away games at 3 a.m. and having to drag myself out of bed for 8 o'clock exams. I quickly learned the art of prioritizing. Knowing that athletics and education go hand in hand, it was imperative for me to perform well in the classroom if I expected to participate on the court. Even though I remained in Cleveland, rather than going away to school, I fully intended to get the entire college life experience, one of which was moving on campus. Upon settling into my dorm room, I expected my roommate to be a student athlete as myself. But God had something different for me. I was placed with a young man who was not an athlete, nor could have ever been one. For his spine was paralyzed, and he was confined to a wheelchair for the rest of his life. When we first met, neither one of us knew how sure being roommates would work out. Surprisingly, by the end of the first night, we had engaged in hours of deep conversation, and this was the start of a lifelong friendship. Over the course of the next 2 years, Chris Cope impacted my life and inspired me beyond measure. He never complained or asked for a single thing. He remained positive through the challenging times. I was greatly humbled by his example and his spirit of optimism, resilience, and perseverance. Although he was incapable of playing, Chris was just as pumped to watch me play the game as I was in the game. He never missed a single home game. He never failed to support me, and he never lost his enthusiasm. He always told me, "Brice, when you go pro one day, I will be moving in next door to you." Among my peers and others, I respected him the most because he kept me level-headed. He told me the truth even when I did not want to hear it. Chris did not realize how big of a role he played in my life. He was just being himself. A perfect example of Proverbs 27:17. As iron sharpens iron, so a friend sharpens a friend. And Ecclesiastes 4:9-10. Two people are better off than one, for they can help each other succeed. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. But someone who falls alone is in real trouble. Chris was an exceptional friend, and although we were forced to live two different lifestyles due to his physical impairment, we both had the same passion for life and willingness to serve even beyond basketball. I appreciate Lee University's emphasis on the importance of community involvement and for continually creating opportunities for me to reach out, which broadened my scope of service to others. I found fulfillment through feeding at the homeless shelter, assisting with the disaster relief, and volunteering wherever there is a need. Also, through Lee University, I was able to travel abroad to Uruguay and Argentina with the business department. While in Uruguay on a rainy night, I witnessed a family of 5 living on the side of the road using cardboard boxes for shelter. It was a humbling and life-changing experience, confirming how important it is to reach out and make a difference. From these encounters, I have developed a personal goal to be a positive influence by motivating, mentoring, and encouraging others to overcome and achieve. In summary, key individuals and life experiences at Lee have caused me to grow tremendously, and for this I will always be grateful. I have come to realize that wealth, position, power, or even a coveted sports career is not everything. There are no guarantees. It will end one day, but God's love and plan for me will always remain. Jeremiah 29:11 states, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future, and that is enough for me. Thank you.